Welcome back to Life of the Germ. I'm your host Jeremy. We we're back. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've lived like a lifetime since the last episode, actually. I went to a science conference um for it was kind of like a department thing. Like we basically like our whole department goes and we'll give like we'll just like communicate science to each other, but it's kind of like a bonding thing. So we'll like give posters, but then like everyone from the department like knows you, so they'll come up and be like, "Oh, this is like the research you've been working on. Like, tell me about it." So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I got to do that. That was super fun. And then I had a little date on Saturday. That was pretty sweet. Okay, had a dinner date, but hear me out. You actually like make the dinner, okay? Any guys listening to this, let me tell you, like, you can go out to dinner, you can spend your money, but at the end of the day, like, in my opinion, I think when like someone makes you a meal, it's just like so much better. Like that especially hits. I know my mom is listening when I come home and like I don't have to worry about cooking. Like, oh my gosh, it's just the best thing ever. And plus, it actually like tastes good too, and it's not like some like chicken and rice like slop that I just put together myself. Like, I put a good amount of effort. I didn't put this much effort into a meal in a while. I made some like cod that I breaded, cooked in the air fryer. If you ever want like good fish, my buddy put me on. Put that in the air fryer. It doesn't even need to be breaded. I've put salmon in there before. It like crisps up so nicely. It's just so good. Um, but then I made some risotto. My dad put me on. I haven't had I say like owned risotto, but like I actually haven't owned risotto in so long because just like something that it takes a while. You have to like add the broth like a cup at a time. It just like takes a while and so good. I had some wine with it too, which I feel like I don't know what I did. I think I did something though. It like paired like super nicely with the meal, and I was like, let's go. It just hit so well. So that was really fun. I had a good time. And other than that, yeah, I attempted to run on Sunday, and this has literally never happened. Like I never walk in runs. Like I think I've said this on Life for the Germ. Like whatever you do during runs, don't walk. And I was supposed to do 15 miles like a couple days ago, and I got to like 7, and I literally was like close to passing out. I was like so lightheaded. It was so weird, and it was just because I was like so fatigued. I think just like um I don't know what it was. Like I ate breakfast. I didn't sleep too well, so it could have been from that. Um but yeah, it was just brutal. So to make up for it, like I ran a little extra this morning, which is good. But yeah, other than that, like been a pretty chill week so far. I mean, I'm going back on Friday to get see my boy get married. I'm like super excited for that. That's gonna be super sweet. Shout out Bobby for the one time. Um, but yeah, other than that, I think like I've said, I've been trying to shorten this and just get like straight to the point on these. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wisdom of the week, or not wisdom of the week, album of the week first. See that, dude? I like everyone tells me that Take Care is their favorite Drake album, and I've always thought like, it's up there, but like I like other ones more. And dude, like I listened to like warm up for that run, that I like miserably failed at, but like still warmed up for it. Um, I was like, dude, every song was just hitting. Like, there's piano samples. It's just like, oh, Drake used to be so good and used to use like really good production, and now it's just these like super crap beats, and it's just disappointing. But that album it just like it captures something so special from that era, that just when like rap was pure and actually good and not just like garbage techno crap. Like it was actually a really good album. So even if you've heard Take Care, if you're listening to this and you like rap, listen to Take Care. I don't even care if you hate Drake. Like you will like that album. That album is so good. But yeah, getting into it, I don't think I have any stories like off the top of my head that I can think of. So we'll just get into it right away, and I'm actually gonna reuse. Oh wait, first, dude, I read this science paper. This is so geeky, but like I was like flipping through my papers because I'm gonna probably like get a little reading in after this, but I don't know if you can read this. It might be blurry, but dude, like this is just like a review, so just like a culmination of different articles. Role of mitochondria in viral infections. Just like, oh my god, like it just so cool. Like I'm more study like mitochondria in the context of bacteria, which is a little different, but it's still so cool. Like I love it. But getting into it, I wanted to share that with you guys because it is this passion that I just like doesn't die. And speaking of that, actually, I might have a show coming out soon that's kind of related to that. I'm not gonna say too much. But we might have figured out a plan past episode 100 when I get 100 guests. I'm not gonna say anything more, but I'm excited, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And getting into the episode, you got channels. And what do you think of when you think of channels? You think of a TV, boy. Come on. If you're OG, if you recognize this, you're actually just so cool. Like I love you. Cause I used this like 2 months ago, and I was thinking of what to draw up for this episode, and I was like, dude, I think I drew a TV like in the past. And sure enough, Hulu has live sports. Honestly, I don't even remember what that episode was about, but I know it was a good episode, and now I'm reusing the drawing. I'm so hyped. And now I gotta actually go back and look back on it. I feel like I should remember my own content, but I just don't sometimes. It just doesn't happen like that. But channels. It's less of a conveying a lesson and more of just like conveying an observation that I've found that I think is really cool. And it's a pretty simple observation, but I think it makes you appreciate the gratitude of hanging out with someone. And that is the fact that I don't know how it's always when I'm on my way to work and I'm just like post run, just like jamming out to my music. Dude, literally one of the best times of my day is like when I go to work listening to my music. I have like a 30-minute commute. I take the same way every day, and it's like a pregame for work, and I'm just get so in my zone. I think I thought of this like a few weeks ago, and it gets at the idea that hanging out with people is a lot like flipping channels on a television. And I know Gen Alpha's listening to this. They don't even know what flipping channels looks like because TV like doesn't exist anymore. It's like the weirdest thing ever. But basically, I remember like my grandpa, my dad, like, you know, dude, as a kid, that's another thing. This is kind of a side note, but when you got the TV remote, you felt like you were a king. Like you were like, when you were home alone and you're like, I'm going to turn on the TV, and you're like changing the channels. It's just like the most satisfying thing. Like you own the household. But like basically what I'm getting at is, you know, you're flipping the channels. You're like, okay, this sucks. Shark Tank comes up. Sometimes you actually watch because sometimes Shark Tank is actually good. Like History Channel, I usually skip because that'll put me to sleep. You know, you get like golf, skip. Like, and then like maybe I'm trying to think of something good just to like please the crowd. Maybe like, you know, Forrest Gump comes on. You know, like you can't skip Forrest Gump. It's just lit. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna hang out here for a little while. You watch it, even though like you have the DVD in your house, and there's like you could literally skip all the ads, but you just take it because it's like special because it's on TV. I don't know. And this relates so closely to what hanging out with someone is. It could be like could be a friendship. It could be like you're hanging out with someone romantically. Like it could be your family. It really doesn't matter. And you're doing the same thing. And I just think I think it's cool. And it's this art that you learn. And I think I've learned this in Denver. This has been a very powerful trait because in high school, like I had all these friends and I didn't have to keep skipping channels because every time like this would never happen on TV, but what high school was for me was that every channel you skipped to was good. So you didn't need to turn the channel because it was always good. But in Denver, like, and it's not just Denver. I mean, it's literally anywhere you go where you don't know people. Like, you're gonna meet some people. Some are gonna be good, and you might spend some time on that channel, right? You might spend some time like getting to know that person, getting their number, asking them to hang out, and like actually like getting to know them better, right? Like, but then there's like this art to it, right? Where you gotta appreciate and you gotta know when that connection isn't there, right? And when that channel isn't there and you're not connecting. And you're and this is what's cool about it though. Like it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? Like when you're changing the channel on TV, you're trying to find the right channel, right? And there's kind of an art in it, right? Like I've never heard someone say that like finding the right channel is annoying, right? It's kind of fun to like flip through and like every time you go, you get like a little peek into someone's life, right? No matter how bland, no matter how boring the conversation, you flip the channel to channel 2. Oh, you get the news. Okay. In this case, you flip to channel 2, you get Joey. And like you're like, Joey, he's not like I wouldn't say he's all that fun. Like that I don't really enjoy that channel that much. But at the end of the day, like you got to see a look into channel 2. You got to see a look into Joey. And this is like I think especially for introverts, this is kind of me trying to like convince you why parties are cool because if you get into the right mind state of how to like sort of mess around at parties and not care too much, what you can do is you can flip channels at the party, right? You go up to Amber, Amber's a hoot. She's really fun. There's no way you'd actually form a real connection with her, but in the moment, it's a blast, right? Like she's having fun, like we're hanging out, it's a good time, like, and then you're like, okay, for tonight, maybe I'll just keep the channel on Amber, right? But then long term, you recognize, okay, wait, I found John at the party though, and he's like really cool. We do a lot of the same things. We run, we climb together. I might actually hang out with John for the night. And maybe I'll like remember that channel for next time, right? For me, like Fox was my favorite channel. Like not Fox News. Fox isn't like the where they play a lot of movies and a lot of like good movies. Like and it'd just be lit. Like I don't even they'd have a ton of ads. Literally like every 10 minutes there'd be a new ad. But at the end of the day, like Fox was my channel. Like they'd always play good stuff. I think they had and it was AMC that had Breaking Bad, I think. But they had a lot of good shows too. And I guess what I'm trying to say about channels is that there really is like I think there is really something to be said for even though they might not be your person, it's still fun to get a little sneak peek into someone's life that like you're never gonna meet. A running club is like the perfect thing for this. I go to this run club on Thursdays and I think I've hung out with one guy one time outside a run club and he was like chill and but like we could both tell like not really each other's vibe and we went on one run and then like ditched it. But run club's fun because I remember one day I was running with like the slow group and I quite honestly I just got bored and I saw there was like a 9:30 group and then I could see like an 8:30 group maybe like a quarter mile ahead and I was just like I'm gonna go up there and like see what they're talking about. So I just like ran a little bit faster, caught up with the 8:30s, and I ended up finding like a super cool conversation with this guy about like he worked for like a power company. He was talking about how how he manages electricity, and I just got him talking about like this job, and it was actually really interesting. I honestly don't remember a lot of it now, but in the moment I was having a lot of fun like talking with him and getting to like learn more about what he does. And there was all these special stipulations like in Minnesota, if he like asked the union members to help them like repair their electric stuff, like technically it was a law, and he could get fined a lot of money because you can't technically like recruit the union member without the union approving it. Like it was like real. I was like, that stuff to have. Like it was really interesting actually. But like there's a great example. Like I don't even remember what dude's name was, but we got into a really good conversation, and it was just dope. Like I don't even know if I'll see that guy again, but it was a fun conversation, and I got to see uh, the the channel, which in this case was this dude's life. Like he was living this completely alternate life than I was, and I think that's why I've always enjoyed the podcast so much, is because you just get a fresh perspective, and especially opinionated people. Like I love them and I hate them, but at the end of the day, like opinionated people, they'll take a stance on something, and it's like kind of cool to see how confident they are, even if it is such a flawed stance. You're like, okay, like somehow you came to the conclusion that this is right and this is how it should be, and it's just interesting to like hear that person out and hear what they have to say. Um, so yeah, I think that's channels in a nutshell. And I I think what I'd like you guys to take away from this, if you could, is the fact that I know more than most people how draining it is to meet new people and like to struggle to like find your crowd and to feel like these people actually understand me. But and I know there's some days where it's not even you're flipping channels, it's just literally nothing's on, and you just turn the TV off and you're like, I'm done. And you just need a break from meeting new people for a little while because it's so exhausting, and it's like such a energy suck sometimes. But what keeps you coming back is the satisfaction of knowing when you find someone that's on the same channel as you, and like you truly like their channel, you truly like the vibes they're bringing, and that is worth everything, because then it hits and you're like, I've gone through so many people, like tens of 20, 30 people, to just find the person, you know, whether that's a friend, whether that's someone like you want to like date romantically, or like even a family member, that you're just like, they finally, like, it finally feels like someone understands you, A, and B, you can like see through them and you understand them. And it's just the best feeling in the world. But even when that isn't present, remember that it's fun to like on the TV when you're flipping channels. Remember when you were a kid and you had the house alone and you were like, there was so much garbage on TV, but it was still fun to just like click the button and you're like going through and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm like, people watch this, like this is garbage, and you just like skip through it. Like it's fun. It's all about the process, and eventually you will find your people, and you won't have to do that, and I think it's just about like appreciating where you are in life, and not getting stressed too much about where your current state is, and instead like really embracing it for what it is. Because like 15, 20 years from now, like you're likely not going to be flipping channels anymore. You're likely going to be like me in high school, where like every person you run into is just fire. So thank you for tuning into Life of the Germ. I'm your host, Jeremy. I got some wings to cook up on the grill that my mouth is just foaming at the bed for these wings. So I'm going to cook those up, and hope you had a good night. Catch you next week.